Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. I kind of promised I was gonna do one of these every couple of days. I said like maybe once a week, maybe twice a week or so. Right now, I gotta quickly figure out exactly how I'm gonna share. I think I should just quickly type in on Discord. I think I should just put in here at everyone with a link, and in the XRP server as well. I think I can check it out. There we go. Let's go for an YouTube channel. Let's go for at everyone. Oh, I already, whatever. Everyone, come check out the live. There we go. All right. So that is what I'm going to put there, and hopefully now everything is set. I also got to put it on Twitter. If you're watching this right now after the fact, then maybe it's nice to skip ahead a minute or so, because I'm going to quickly put on a couple of places that I'm live streaming. Come check it out on YouTube. So what I'm quickly putting on Twitter. All right, there we go. I think I put it in a couple of places now. It's also because there's no notification for people because I already posted a couple of videos today. And after 3 notifications a day, you don't get anything anymore. A little bit annoying, but that's the way it sometimes goes, you know? That's the way it is. If you're watching, quickly let me know in that comment box so I can see there's actually people here. I think there's 20 people watching though, so I think we can get started already. I think there's 25 people or so now. All right, so basically, what I was browsing here this morning was everything regarding the law, right? Everything just regarding that department. I just wanted to kind of check through it and figure it out properly. Mostly because whenever I check the law, I notice, well, not that much has changed, right, in the real law. But today, I saw a couple of articles pop up saying, for example, U.S. lawmakers introduced bill to clarify crypto regulations, and, well, they gave me a little bit of gas. It gave me a little bit of motivation to look at it a little bit deeper because, you know, I thought maybe there are some connections here to the Ripple case and maybe there's something positive for us in this. So I read through it. This is not the article. This is the article. It says, U.S. lawmakers introduced bill to clarify crypto regulations. The proposed bill would create a working group to evaluate U.S. crypto regulations with input from the SEC and CFTC. Dronalton says BS. Somebody says, what's happening to XRP? So to XRP specifically, guys, if you're wondering what's the title connected to everything that we're going to be showing here, I'll give you a quick little summary, all right? So right now, the situation is XRP, in my opinion, is to some degree being manipulated / being suppressed. It just depends on how you look at it. And I believe there's 2 sides to this story. One is Ripple is kind of manipulating it all in the way that they want to get XRP the proper regulation and get crypto regulations properly. And the second one is Ripple is just doing their honest work and the US is really trying to dim it all down. Why? Well, we'll get to a couple of conclusions as the video goes on here, as the live stream, I should actually say. Yes, Alejandro, it is live. Because it just doesn't really make any sense. And that's why I wanted to start it off here with the article right here. U.S. lawmakers introduced bill to clarify crypto regulations. The proposed bill would create a working group to evaluate U.S. crypto regulations with input from the SEC and CFTC. To start, this article here has a very strange title with a very strange motive already. Like, we're seeing now that in the US, they're making a group because Congress may soon try to clarify digital asset regulations in the US. What? Well, that on its own is already a pretty big thing. That on its own is already pretty good. But what does it exactly mean? I saw a lot of people ask here, what does it mean? What does it do? Well, to me, this shows the US is now also admitting that the way it's going right there in the US, it ain't good. There is definitely something that ain't working up. And the real strange part, in my opinion, is how the SEC and the CFTC have to work together on this one. You know why? Because from the CFTC's perspective, XRP is a currency, right? But from the SEC's perspective, they are at least alleging that XRP is a security. The reason it becomes kind of difficult and strange, yes, Aaron, it's live. Stop asking. Of course it's live. Otherwise, why would I be live streaming? The reason I'm saying that's a little bit strange is because, well, the SEC has previously stated that whatever the CFTC regards something, the SEC can still regard it differently, and so can the IRS. So how could there now become a working group to evaluate US crypto? And also, we have seen before that the SEC cannot decide anything like that for themselves, right? So what that means is the SEC cannot bring up a statement like, for example, XRP is a security. No, they can only bring an argument as to why XRP could be a security and bring that to court, which is also what they've done here. In the end of things, we don't actually know if the SEC thinks XRP is a security or if they just want to allege something to get the verdict ruled out. It could also be that the SEC does this type of stuff to actually get it denied, basically, by a judge to get something done officially. Reps Patrick McHenry and Stephen Lynch introduced legislation Tuesday to create a working group composed of industry experts and representatives from the United States Exchange Commission, Securities and Exchange Commission, and CFTC, which is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, to evaluate the current legal and regulatory framework around digital assets in the U.S. The three others co-sponsors of the bill are Glenn Thompson, Ted Budd, and Warren Davidson, and I'm really wondering what's going to be coming out from this, because this document on its own, this little press release here, is already very important, and whatever comes out from this is going to be even way much more important. We'll just see, though. The ultimate goal of the legislation, called Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act 2021, which to me sounds like they've listened to Ripple, because what they've stated before is, well, literally in the US right now, they are limiting the innovation, right? There's a big barrier to it because there's no proper regulatory framework. And I'm thinking a group like that could definitely help out, even though the group itself is made up of two parties who kind of contradict each other as of this point in the crypto space, so I find that difficult. But it's called that, would be to clarify when the SEC has jurisdiction over a particular token or cryptocurrency. So, in the end of things though, this might be a very handy thing for Ripple, i.e. when it is a security and when the CFTC has jurisdiction, i.e. when it's a commodity. Doge has been called a commodity before. I'm really thinking if this group would have been here earlier, then Ripple couldn't have gotten the same type of treatment because the SEC wouldn't have had jurisdiction from the start. Because, well, it kind of looks like to me that the CFTC in this case then would just take over then, because it just does not look like a security at all. By the way, if you're watching right now, make sure you press the like button to show some support. I see there's 18 people who pressed the like button already. You don't have to, but it helps out a little bit. So if you can, make sure you help out. U.S. regulations can often appear lacking with no clear rules, yada, yada, yada. The rest of this article is not that important because it really comes down to the same issue. The SEC and CFTC are going to be working together to make crypto better. There's a new group forming. I think that's really interesting. Honestly, I think that's really interesting. Then the reason I kind of made the title this way is more specific to this article right here. And the article reads, I'm not going to read the whole article, of course, but the title is State of Crypto. It is time to talk about NFTs and intellectual property law. NFTs are all the rage right now, but buyers and sellers should be aware of the different regulatory frameworks that might govern these assets. And that is where things get interesting. Regulatory frameworks that might govern these assets, because where is the jurisdiction for any one of these things? That's a difficult part. And if we're really talking about XRP, because the NFT part, let's skip that for right now. Let's not talk about whether or not those are securities and all that. Let's just talk about the XRP part, which partially is right here at the bottom and partially has to do with this changing of the guard. The Senate Banking Committee, this is under Biden's rule, will consider the nominations of Gary Gensler and Rohit Chopra for SEC Chair and CFPB Director, respectively, tomorrow. Assuming both are passed out of the committee, the nominations will move to the full Senate for a final confirmation vote after that. Missed last week's confirmation hearing? I recapped it here and live tweeted it here. You can check it out, but I don't know if you need to. More importantly, see right here. Changing of the guard. Treasury from Steven Mnuchin to Janet Yellen, which we've already stated before is really odd. Janet Yellen has shown very positive but also very negative things regarding crypto, so I'm not exactly sure if we like this or not. Not really sure. SEC, Jay Clayton to Gary Gensler, which could be coming up. Again, I've stated in a video before, and there's another video coming out in about 2 hours, 3 hours from now, which is going to be talking more about this Gary Gensler, because the more I read into him, the more I think he is liking XRP. You'll see it though. So again, make sure you stick around to the channel for a little bit later. That video is coming up. Chris Brummer. I have never heard about Chris Brummer and Michael Barr before, so I'm not too sure. I can look it up partially. Chris Brummer crypto. But the reason I'm not really thinking that stuff all matters too much, these two names here, is because, well, first of all, whatever they decide is not going to matter for the SEC. The SEC has already sued Ripple, and thus that's already there, and that cannot be taken back, really. But also, well, the CFTC has already called XRP a currency before, so, yeah, I mean, do they really need more support from the CFTC? Well, we only would need that if this was being made right here, if this, what we're talking about here, is really going to come into place, and the XRP would be given another chance or so, but they're not. So, yeah, I don't think those two departments really matter too much. It's all about the SEC and what's going to happen regarding that. But let's read this XRP part, because I think you guys must be interested in that. Crypto exchanges discussed XRP's status with the SEC ahead of listing, Ripple says. Ripple filed its answers to the SEC's amended complaint last week. Most of it was the same, but it added a bit on how crypto exchanges apparently discussed XRP's legal status with the SEC prior to listing it. In other Ripple news, it's winding down its partnership with MoneyGram. Last month, MoneyGram announced it was suspending said partnership. I'm not sure if Ripple is maintaining its stake in MoneyGram or not. But think about this part, all right? Ripple filed its answer, and the basic verdict is the SEC didn't really let those exchanges know that they could not trade it. Now, I saw David Gokhshtein over on Twitter today ask the question, if XRP isn't a security, then why aren't US-based exchanges relisting it? And I have two theories on this. One is basically the Kraken explanation, which is they weren't told to stop listing it by the SEC, so the SEC says Coinbase, so the SEC says, no, it basically just says they weren't ever told to stop listing it, so if they relist it or whatever, it would all be their own choice. That's basically one way of viewing it. My personal opinion of viewing this is, well, with the way it's going right now, and the way we're viewing it, it's like, these exchanges have a huge threat. If they never removed it whatsoever, they could have gotten away with it. But now that they have removed it, the thought behind them removing it is because, well, the SEC alleged that it was a security. And what these companies all right now are doing, which will come back to haunt them later, is they are acting out of the thought that it might be a security. And since they don't want to take any risks and don't want to be held liable, they removed it. If they now were to add it again, it would be like, well, we thought it might be a security because you delisted it, or you alleged it, talking about the SEC, and you sued them. But after a little while, you said that it's up to us, so we relisted it. But then some of the lawyers, like I think from Kraken's team and whatnot, said if they were to list it now once more, it would basically show that, you know, they saw the verdict and they saw what the SEC said, and still they put it back up. And eventually, some of these guys, no wait, sorry guys, and eventually some people might sue the exchanges and get some money out of them, or at least try to get some money out of them, because they knew they could be selling a security, and yet they still made money on that. So, you know, from that perspective, I don't really think that, even if the exchanges really don't think it's a security, would know what the SEC is going to decide, because in my opinion, guys, this whole SEC ordeal is just a shit show. I honestly believe that to the freaking core of my heart, that this doesn't make sense. What they're doing doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It really just doesn't make sense to me. I cannot even describe it properly. It just doesn't. Now, I just saw John Deaton also say here, this is such an important thread and point of consideration. I will also try and make this point in a separate thread directly related to the SEC's overreach against XRP. Read or reread the recent risk alert by the SEC, then read its motion to dismiss against me. Our tier is 100. And guys, think about it. The SEC just put up a risk alert. Why? Well, they're also seeing crypto is growing bigger, which is also why they've gotten in this newer, this bill to clarify crypto regulations. Yet, they're doing all of this in the background, but in real terms, nothing is really happening. Nothing is really changing. XRP is still being sued. Nothing is really going on. And Uphold, in the end of things, was one of the only ones that was correct from the start. But are they ever, the SEC, for example, giving us some good examples like, well, what Uphold did is all fine? No, I mean, there's a lot of places right now let's say, for example, Coinbase or any other exchange that stopped the listing, Binance US, which in the end didn't have to do it. Yet they did because they thought it had to be so from the SEC. Well, let's quickly read this one. Arturo Portela posted, I'm perplexed that neither CoinCenter nor Blockchain Association have issued a single statement on SEC v Ripple, let alone fight the industry-harming interpretation of security laws, despite this case clearly falling within these advocacy groups' mission, attached for reference, which is, again, CoinCenter right here, with their mission is to build a better understanding of these technologies and to promote regulatory climate that preserves the freedom to innovate using permissionless blockchain technologies, and the other one being the Blockchain Association. Same point, advocate for regulatory clarity so that the US can be the leader in blockchain and crypto innovation. Ripple stated yesterday or the day before, I'm not quite sure. Oh, you guys are saying dusty, blurry screen. Is the screen blurry? Let me quickly note. Is the screen blurry, guys? Can you all see what it says? Because it says the stream is healthy. It says it's good. It's not blurry? All right. Then let's move on. I guess it's just a you problem. Somebody who said that in the comments. It's fine? All right. So, wait, I lost my train of thought a little bit. Yeah, they're also advocates for regulatory clarity in the US so that they can be the leader in blockchain and crypto innovation. I'm not sure exactly, but I believe Brad Garlinghouse said yesterday or the day before that the way it's going right now, the US is losing its grip in terms of leadership in the blockchain and crypto innovation. And in my opinion, the blockchain / crypto innovation is basically the newer internet, right? Because I've said it in a video, don't know which one, that the US is definitely a key player in the internet. Google, YouTube, Facebook, pick some other social medias. The US is there. All right. The only one where I guess Asia is winning is TikTok or some of the freaking things that are only used over in China. But that's definitely not the biggest in the world, right? We're talking about maybe China versus rest of the world. Because China has their own big things, which are used by a lot of people. But that's, again, within a country, basically. The US is definitely a leader in the entire world. Yet, in the CBDC department, they're quite lacking, but mostly now in this department of regulatory clarity lacking. And now it's interesting to me. Why did all these associations and just basically centers or whatever you want to call them that are really in for proper regulations not come up with anything to defend Ripple or help them out? Because you think they would try to protect it too or try to help out in some way, shape, or form. Not a lot of guys are vouching for Ripple / XRP, guys. But why not? Still, everything points out to in the end that it's all one big, I don't want to say shit show, but I want to kind of say like a clown fest. Arturo says, I see no beyond perhaps management bias for these blockchain / crypto, more like Bitcoin and Ethereum advocates, to not fight the SEC's harmful predilection to regulate crypto through reckless enforcement actions that destabilize the industry as a whole. Why? Well, look back at this article right here. This article here is actually talking about NFTs mostly and the regulations regarding that and how things become very freaking difficult very quickly as they're growing in terms of popularity like crazy. But of course, intellectual property is going to be coming in. It's going to be a very hot issue soon. The whole how do you tax this type of stuff, is this a security, and all that type of stuff is going to be coming in very freaking soon. And now you're going to see, all right, just wait. Now you're going to see all these guys, which he is referring to here, step up. They're going to be like, what is the SEC doing against our crypto, these regulations, yada, yada, yada. But when Ripple / XRP was being thrown in front of the hammer, they're not. And the hypocrisy there is the Ripple lawsuit, the Ripple case, is actually the backing of everything else which you're seeing here. It's basically the back end of everything, of all these documents. It all comes back to what the verdict on Ripple / XRP is going to be, because that ties into how ICOs were considered before, how all these small sales are considered right now. Everything kind of ties down or comes down to this Ripple lawsuit. And that's why I find it so strange that they're not really giving it too much attention. Like, is there something pre-planned? Or do they not want XRP to succeed? Do they not consider XRP to be crypto at all? The same goes for digital asset markets. These advocacy groups describe themselves as entities created with the sole purpose to help creating adequate regulatory frameworks for digital assets, yet they choose to relinquish the single most important opportunity to shape the landscape. All these associations have members and supporters who, in some way, either by providing trading, custody, investment, or payment services, offer support for cryptos that, like XRP, could be recklessly classified by the SEC as a non-compliant security. Notably, Ripple is not only a member of the Blockchain Association, but the association itself has appointed A. Ripple's Stuart Alderoty as a member of its board, and B. Ron W. Hammond, former government affairs employee at Ripple, as its director of government affairs, which is, again, strange. Like, why would they not, again, bring up more Ripple? And think about it from a different perspective as well, right? Why didn't these exchanges come in to actually go against the SECs too? Because the way it's looking like right now, and by the way, if you're still watching, make sure you press the like button. It helps out a ton. There's 400 people watching, and there's 80 likes pressed. I think we can get that to 150 at least, all right? I mean, you don't have to, but it helps out, so why not? It doesn't hurt anybody, I think. I think it helps out the video do better in the YouTube algorithm, which is why I always tell a little bit about it, but you don't have to once more. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because the way it stands right now, all these exchanges and all these entities, they had to switch their ways and make things more difficult by, first of all, delisting XRP, which means less fees for them, less money, but also by potentially getting sued in the future, like, for example, an Uphold or so. Why didn't they all bundle together in some way, shape, or form, or at least put up a document on their own in some way, shape, or form to actually make sure that they wouldn't get messed up in the end and still continue to trade XRP. But then let's move on. Likewise, Michael Bond, 11, former head of government and regulatory affairs of Ripple, has been appointed by this as the CEO of digital assets markets. So Ripple is basically in all these organizations, yet these organizations do jack all? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Yet, these advocacy groups have failed to share any signs of concern on the overreaching interpretation of securities laws made by the SEC. If the SEC v. Ripple case isn't the perfect opportunity for these groups to actually advocate for the whole crypto industry for a millionth time, this is not only about Ripple and XRP. I don't know what they will be willing to advocate for or under which circumstances. Perhaps they'll wait until the SEC launches an enforcement action against the Ethereum Foundation, but if such an event ever does occur, it'll most definitely be too late to get involved in the matter. Because think about this. Ripple right now is getting all the attention. All the attention. If Ripple loses this, or if they go after Ethereum or anything like that, you already know it's going to be almost too late to stop the SEC because they got the power. And however many cases, I should say it differently. The more cases that are being built against crypto companies, or fintech maybe, but mostly crypto companies or cryptocurrencies themselves, the harder it'll be for future ones to win. Because, well, think about it. A judge is going to look at all the cases that have kind of happened before. And the more that are negative with negative verdicts, well, logically speaking, the harder it's going to be for a new judge to rule against all of those and then be like, you know what, this one is positive. So once they go for the Ethereum Foundation, I do also believe that it might be too late. Let's see here. Perhaps, no. Diving deeper into this, it happens that the Blockchain Association has a so-called litigation working group, which is supposed to help fight legal battles that could benefit the entire crypto industry. The group has gone as far as filing an amicus brief, amicus, whatever that word is supposed to be, in the Telegram case. You can see the screenshot right here. And in the amicus brief, amicus, no idea, brief filed in the SEC v. Telegram case, the Blockchain Association expresses concerns on the potential consequences of the SEC's regulation by enforcement approach, as well as the stretched interpretations of security laws. And that's, again, in kind of an indirect way helping out Ripple / XRP, but not yet, at least. Why is the Blockchain Association no longer interested in being involved in these kinds of legal proceedings, despite the SEC for Ripple case being several orders of magnitude more relevant than the ones brought up by or before Telegram and Kick, is way beyond my understanding. As to Coin Center, I know it's a little bit of a long one, but it's very important, so that's why I'm going over it. As to Coin Center, it is noteworthy that their executive director, Jerry Brito, has been eager to share that Coin Center has actively written about why Bitcoin and Ethereum should not be deemed as securities. By the way, make sure you press the like button. I just said it, but still, I think we can get to 200 even. If you guys all just press the button. Let me see how much we're at. I have to then go open it on my phone. I'll type in DustTBC and see. There's 400 people watching still. That's crazy. There's 141 likes. I'm going to be the 142 like, the 142nd. By the way, I'm not a native English speaker, which is why I don't know some of these words. So if you're angry about that and leaving, I'm sorry. I try my best, bros. Has been eager to share that Coin Center has actively written about why Bitcoin and Ethereum should not be deemed as securities, whilst highlighting that nonprofits has nothing to say about Ripple. That's right. Here, Jerry Brito says, you won't find anything similar post for Ripple. We have nothing to say about it. Interesting. Interestingly, in the Ethereum blog post, Coin Center's Falkenberg uses arguments that could as well apply to XRP. I'm literally unable to find any relevant differences between Ethereum and XRP when it comes to these particularities, which are right here. And no, a useful decentralized token itself, like Ether, is not a security, regardless of how it was originally sold or how the funds were originally raised to build it. Again, a security is a contractual relationship between issuer and investor, nothing more, which Ripple, also we've proven and we've seen before, doesn't have. And Stuffle in the house, I'm doing very good, man. How are you doing? By the way, where are you guys watching from? Put that below in the box, in the chat box. Where are you guys watching from all? I'm just quickly seeing what you guys are writing. Beat you to it, 140-second like. No, man, on my phone, I'm actually 140-second like as well. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some inception is going on. I get that, though, because Ripple has already established right now that, you know, if you want to consider XP to be a security in the past, yeah, you might actually get that verdict done. That might actually be something which is possible. But right now, nah. It definitely is not a security. There's just no way around it. So if you're really comparing it to Ethereum, then that's the only thing that makes sense. At least to me, that's the only thing that makes sense. By the way, what I also do not get is there's so many people right now put in their country. I'm just checking it out. Oh my days, because there's a ton of people watching right now. To me, sometimes it's mind-boggling to understand how many people are actually listening to these words. Like what? There's actually people, because if there's only like 10 people in the chat box going around, it kind of feels normal for me to talk to so many people. But when I see there's so many, like 50 people, even more maybe, putting down their place, I almost get shy. It almost is getting scary now. There's so many people watching me talk. What if I make an error? People are all going to notice. Damn. That's a little bit of a scary thing, actually. I didn't know there were so many people watching. Okay. What the team at Coin Center fails to acknowledge, perhaps deliberately, is that Ethereum could eventually be deemed as a security under the exact same argument made by the SEC against Ripple. We have claimed before, guys, that this is the case, where right now, the way it's going, Gary Gensler is mostly calling out Bitcoin to be a non-security, right? They've mostly called that out. However, if we're really talking about, man, okay, I'm seeing you guys in the chat box saying, we're watching you, don't mess up, don't let us down. I made myself a little bit too stressed. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. A little bit stupid on my end. The SEC has clearly now said, or at least I should say Gary Gensler, who is about to be SEC pretty soon here, he has stated before that Bitcoin is basically cleared, but Ethereum not necessarily, all right? There's no real argument as to say why Ethereum should be cleared altogether. So from that perspective, yeah, it really might show up to them too. And that's when you see all these foundations come in and brag of saying, you can't do this, Ethereum, that. But for XRP, they're not putting in effort, which is odd in my opinion. After all this tweets and research, I'm really struggling to find any reasonable explanation beyond management bias. By getting involved in the SEC Ripple case, these groups could be indirectly protecting their own agendas and interests, yet they choose not to do so, which I don't get either. Coin Center has asked for donations with the intention to fund legal actions against overreaching government initiatives, FinCEN record-keeping rule proposal. I'm sure they would receive a record-breaking amount of donations if they were to participate in the SEC Ripple case, yet they don't. But why not? I really don't know. John Needham, as we just said, this is such an important threat and point of consideration. Because why not? Why are they so against it? I don't get it, honestly. It's mind-boggling to me. I'm going to press the like button on that one. By the way, the one part of the title was mostly about the XLM manipulation. The reason I kind of wanted to say that is just if you check out, right, for fun, if you just go to the XLM price and kind of line things up together, things become a little bit too beautiful. So, for example, the move here, right, the correction, splendid, all right? That's all I can say, just beautiful. So again, you just take the beginning of the move to the end of the move, basically. Correction perfectly to the 0.236 Fibonacci. But then a second one, if you again take the second top, basically, and the first start of the move, once, let's actually quickly delete the first one. If you kind of line it up once more, things are getting, let me see, things are getting so beautiful again. If you, for example, look to where it extended. All right, you might say, Dusty, it's like 0.01% off. But do you get it from a certain perspective how interesting this is? How everything moves along these numbers? And I'm not a guy who's going to say, man, trade your Fibonacci's only, go only for this type of stuff. But man, if you look at it from some perspectives, just taking the beginning of the move to the end of the move, and you just see how perfectly it can line up sometimes, you might call this luck. But I sometimes also call this just beautiful. You know, the mathematics coming back in that. Also, how it's hovering around this line right now for a little bit. Regarding XRP, by the way, we found a roof. You see really quite clearly that we hit the roof of about, let's see what it is actually, 49 cents, and now we're falling back down a little bit. Mostly, in my opinion, dependent on Bitcoin, though. It's a little bit more clear to see that right here. Bitcoin hit its quote-unquote top, its zone, and then fell back down nearly instantly. I actually got a short in right there at about 3% profit. Again, with leverage, so that's again a little bit more than 3% right now. I think that would be in at about, so we're not actually done with this short. I might even close it at about 1.5% right now because the leverage is times 20, so I might actually be able to, be happy. I normally go for 3.5% though, 3%. For right now, I'm not too sure anymore though with the whole sentiment that's going on. I just did this short because it was confirmed by my strategy, but I'm not too sure looking at it right now. It doesn't look like a short will be very smart to do because there's actually a good chance that we'll retest and breach. However, this was kind of a logical one to go for, and luckily I was able to pick it up. On the XP department, I'm not trading XRP on the short term. I only keep buying. I actually bought a little bit more, I believe 2 days ago, 2 days ago, let me quickly see on my phone here. I bought XRP. Wait, give me a second. The 6th of March. So that's right here, right around this area. Right here, I bought some more XRP at about 46 cents or 45. I'm not sure. I just see exactly when I bought it, which right now is up just a teeny weeny bit. But this stuff, guys, I don't really care for. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't sell XRP at a 10%, 20% profit. No. Only if I were to do this with my quick trading stash, which I use for Bitcoin. But since we're talking XRP, all I'm doing is buying it right now and adding it to my stash. Adding it to my stash on a cold wallet. That's all I keep doing. That's all what I'm all about. Because why would I want to trade this one quickly if it's a longer term coin, right? That's not my style. Specifically with XRP, it is not. The situation though with XRP is actually looking quite clear, which does make you sometimes wonder, why is this one moving so perfectly? Why is it staying so perfectly between all the bounds? The moves in XRP are just splendid. I don't really get that. It's really odd to a certain degree, and that makes you wonder, does the news, all right, and that's a question for you guys, does the news really matter? Because, again, if you take a good look, right, so one thing we put in a couple months ago here in November, if you look at the points which are being hit here for XRP, for example, how this resistance just keeps getting back. My question basically comes down to, would XRP have gotten here at this point regardless of the news, yes or no? And the reason I'm asking this in a little bit of strange fashion is because I see a lot of people say that the trading fundamentals basically are everything. And a lot of others are saying, well, the news fundamentals are everything. But think about it. Think with your head for a little second. What if, for example, we breach this level right now, right? We breach this little resistance level at about 49 cents or so, finally after a couple of weeks till about February 22nd or so, when we actually did a big live stream too, talking about what was going to happen to the price, because that, of course, was another very important date regarding XRP. What if we breach now? Can we actually moon mostly just because we broke a certain level and now people will just buy in? Or is it all kind of put into place a little bit earlier? Like, are these basically orders all put in so much longer ago? And does Jet McCallum actually have influence? Does Ripple actually have influence? And the reason I'm saying all of this is because think about it. Ripple has said before that their news updates basically and Ripple's involvement with XRP hasn't actually done anything to the price, which I think is dumb because I don't think you can really deny that Ripple's efforts have changed the price. Yet it's pretty hard to prove though, because if you take a look at the bigger picture with XRP, let me quickly put up the 1-day chart here. Some of these bigger moves, like for example, all of this right here, this was actually mostly, in my opinion, due to the Coinbase hype, due to the big bull market that was just there for everybody basically, and because South Korean exchanges were trading at a premium. But talking about Ripple real news, not really there, not really existent. And that is of course the biggest move that XRP ever had. If you're talking about right here, a little bit before the 1st of October, this was all in anticipation of a Ripple use case, which was the XRapid as of that point. But you might also say that this was all because of the Swell event, Swell by Ripple of 2018, because, well, we had some crazy announcement coming right around that corner. However, it's definitely valid to put up the argument saying, well, it wasn't really Ripple directly who caused the price to rise because people bought a couple of weeks prior in anticipation of an event which was going to happen on October 1st. But the price already rose a couple days or like a week prior. So is it connected? Again, it's not a direct link though that we can put. And even right now, the only thing we can really verify is that the price went up in February here, either because of the pump and dump group or Ripple's statement. But is that really the case? Or is it just because, well, it went down like crazy because of the SEC's lawsuit and the recovery is just normal? Like, because right here, the 22nd, is when we got this SEC statement, so the price fell down. But now the price went up. Is it just because, well, the crypto is doing splendidly and people just want to have this coin for the use case? Or is it because of Ripple's document? Or is it because of the pump and dump group that came about? What do you guys think? I honestly am looking at it just from different perspectives and thinking, man, it could be everything. And some people said, why is the XLM price manipulated? Because it goes too perfectly almost. The way that this one moves is so ridiculously strange. It just doesn't line up with any other chart you can watch. Literally all of these ones, this is for example the same 4-hour chart on a different pair, none of them look as crooked as with XLM, where it's just a really kind of predictable, easy pump with a very predictable dump coming right afterwards. It's just, and following the numbers so perfectly, I think it's a little bit odd, honestly. I think it's a little bit odd, and I'm either thinking there's some heavy mother freaking whales manipulating this one, or it's all Jeb McCallum's plan. Maybe his plan was to start these two cryptos to pull it up all the way through with manipulation. But on that same regard, I'm also always saying that Binance coin is manipulated nonetheless. All right, that coin is so ridiculously stupid from the perspective of them saying, oh, we are neutral with Ethereum and all these other platforms. We're so neutral on that type of stuff. No, they aren't. You know why? If you watch my videos, you know. But they have posted quite a lot of times already before that they are better than Ethereum. They will get better than Ethereum. And also they have their own pair on their own platform. They also have a ton of use cases for this one, and they've explained countless times why BNB, Binance Smart Chain officially, I should say, is actually so much more efficient and why Ethereum is bad. Ethereum will be its own killer and whatnot. They've just very often explained why BNB is really the future by kind of throwing small jabs at Ethereum. Yet, still, this one doesn't look as manipulated nor strange as XLM does. I really can't explain how odd this one is looking. Like, really, like, why? What is happening to XLM that's causing these huge sell-offs all of a sudden as well? Is it Bitcoin? But then Bitcoin should look the same, right? But no, Bitcoin just looks, I guess, like normal price structure, like how a normal chart would look. This one is so odd. It's like one pump, big dump, one pump, big dump, one pump, big dump. It's like the most staircasey system you could get, like literally. So this is going to happen next. We keep going like that forever. With Bitcoin, you can definitely say a little bit of the same, but it's not the same severity, if you guys see what I'm trying to say. You guys see what I'm trying to say here? It just looks really odd to me. But all right. Maybe this is just me being paranoid by watching this every single day. And by the way, if you're wondering what I'm using for trading, this is not, if you're from the US, make sure you use a VPN, but I'm using this PrimeXBT for trading only right now. That's not, again, I'm not talking about buying crypto. I'm talking about trading the crypto. A link is down below. There's also a pretty big bonus, I believe, for like 1 day or so with extra margin. And the reason I'm using it is because I had a really, I want to slap myself in the face. I had a really bad experience with Binance, man. I honestly do not really want to talk about it, but I had a really bad experience where they messed me up by the futures account. What should we call it? The futures account on Binance freezing up, which it does pretty damn often. It messed me up so hard that I kind of got sad about it, and I never want to use the Binance future feature again because it's just way overloaded very often. Like right now, Bitcoin is pumping a little bit. Bitcoin is going crazy. Yeah, most likely Binance futures is just messed up. And with this one, I haven't had any trouble just quite yet. It works like a freaking charm. That is basically why, if you were wondering about it. And I like it. I like it a lot, personally. Now, what my plan is going to be for Bitcoin and all of these ones, I actually have already put in 5 minutes ago or so on my trading guy. If I'm recording or something like that, there's somebody else who does it for me. To close this short in profit, we did. Just because it looks like everything is going to reverse and we're actually going to continue on with the bullish momentum right now. Krizok says, what are you talking about? Binance is the king of crypto. Well, two things, right? One, if you are honestly talking about what exchange is the quote-unquote safest, I'm going to say Coinbase. Definitely my number one, all right, in terms of safety. If you're talking about the exchange with the most amount of uses, basically, I would definitely say Binance. However, if you're talking about the most reliability, you're definitely better off for a little bit of a smaller platform. I just chose PrimeXBT. Can be any different one. I don't care which one you use. I just do not want to stick with Binance for futures trading because they messed me up personally. Most likely a couple of you guys too, but it's just that the trading gets halted for a little second, or you might have an issue where you go into your account and it says zero balance for a little while. That's what I had so many times, and it's really annoying if you're having big trades that you want to execute quickly and get out quickly, or you're trying to put in some stop loss or anything like that. You guys see what I'm trying to say? But somebody says Coinbase is listing Matic. Is Matic on TradingView? Let's see. Is it really true? Because then the price should... Oh, okay. Yeah, most likely the truth. Most likely the truth. Oh, wait. Did I buy... Wait, guys. Let me see for a second. I might have bought Matic yesterday. Let's see this. Let's see. Matic coin market cap. Let me see what the... I'm not sure. Did I buy Matic yesterday? I think so. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Did I buy? Yeah. We got lucky, boys. Oh my days, really? No way. Yeah. It's Polygon, right? Is it Polygon, the one we're talking about? How can I check this? I think so. I think it's the same thing. What a luck. I didn't even know too much. Okay, so a little bit of fun story. Somebody in Discord just sent a list of like 3 coins or 4 coins that he had. I was like, the only one I didn't have was Matic. So I just bought it for like maybe, I don't know how much money, but just a little bit yesterday. Like we're talking just before I went to bed, or yeah, I was laying in bed already, and I had some BTC in my account, so I switched some Bitcoin to it. That is lucky. Yeah, Polygon is Matic, huh? Yeah, okay, then we got lucky on this one, boys. Yeah. By the way, which one of you would be interested in like a Patreon, which would be a couple dollars a month? I'm not sure exactly how much, where I share what my portfolio looks like and what coins I'm buying whenever I'm buying them. You know, not like updates every single second, but maybe like every other day or so, every couple of days, I just share what I've been adding and changing in my portfolio. We're talking longer term portfolio, by the way, not just quick picks on what to buy. All right, I don't want to be that type of guy. Just longer term portfolio and share mine. What do you guys think about that? Not making it today, but just let me know what you think, if it's a good or bad idea. Maybe there's some bad idea why I shouldn't be going for it, and you guys can let me know. Also, Draco, Soldier Boy, has put up, how do I get an XRP tag? I don't think we have to explain it to him, but that's interesting. These guys are getting more and more into it, as well. There's quite a lot of these guys who actually are, and when I'm saying those guys, I mean just the influencer slash rapper slash whatever you want to call it. These guys, basically, getting into the space. And I've noticed another very fun trend. It's like, I don't know if he wants to get attention or if he really wants the answer. Otherwise, why don't you just type it into the freaking internet? Like, just copy and paste this little message, look up, and boom, you got the freaking answer. Like, why ask it on Twitter? That type of stuff. It's not difficult. ADA, by the way, some of you guys are commenting ADA. I've told you guys, ADA is really most likely one of the best picks for the next month or so. I actually bought some ADA too just now. Let me type in ADA USDT. I bought some ADA yesterday as well when I was buying a lot of coins, mostly on the basis that Charles Hoskinson in his AMA or in one of the live streams has said, and even the documents have said, March/April is going to be a couple of announcements, a couple of big things. And I am thinking the Coinbase and Africa situation are the ones that are going to be really big. And that's why I'm buying into it and buying more. My average price on it is ridiculously low. We're talking like maybe 1 cent or so a pop. But I don't have that much. I don't have as much ADA as I do for like Ethereum or so. And it's a little bit sad because it's actually pretty high up in the rankings. And I do to a certain degree think it actually deserves a little bit more. Purely on what's happening in the short term. But in that regard, we're talking about a short term pick for me. I'm buying ADA on the shorter term, which is talking a couple of weeks and not a couple of years. I also have an ADA stash for a couple of years, but medium term, short term, I'm also quite excited for it. Shane says, I'm all XRP, but lately I've gone big into VeChain. Any thoughts? I actually am a big VeChain holder too. I'm very excited about them. I know the process. I've been with them for years and years and years. I bought some VeChain 2 yesterday. Fun story. Because I had to just increase my bags. I gradually do that about once, twice a month maybe or so. I just buy a lot of the coins that I already have and kind of put some more money in. And then I try to buy maybe like 5 or so coins, which I didn't have before. One of them, funny enough, being Matic. And there was another 2 coins, I think, which I didn't have before, but I forgot the names. I might come up with it later. I might share it on the Patreon thing, which I'm going to make eventually. Xander says 1,500 likes. Yeah, right. Well, I think one of the videos is getting close to 1,500 likes, though, so that's going to be cool. Kingston says, hey, dude, any thoughts on Holochain? I hold some, but I don't update myself with the project anymore. Not at all. I haven't really seen anything regarding it in a little while now. Let's put it like that. A little while now. Haven't updated myself too much. Anyone here from a different alternative universe? No, I don't know. Polkadot to release its pioneering common good element statement parachain. What do you guys think about Polkadot? Man, I've been reading so much into this one, but it's a whole world of just reading and reading and reading. And I told you guys in Discord too, Kusama, if that's how you pronounce it, I think so. Man, that's also taking so much of my time. Honestly, oh my days. I'm spending so many hours a day just reading into it and seeing whatever it can do and what I can do regarding it. And the fun story is, most of my stuff I literally read to tell you guys about it. Because what am I going to do with Kusama or Polkadot? Most likely not too much. I just read into it so I can tell you guys better stories about it. That's literally what I do. And of course, I want to, I guess, learn more about them from the inside, but it's a fun story to tell you. Oh, here we go. This is the yeah, okay, so I was also reading a little bit more about Matic. So, Matic Network rebranded to okay, yeah, sorry guys. I forgot a little bit of half of my story now because we got sidetracked with the XRP stuff. So, I bought Matic, and then a little bit later, this announcement, or I saw this article, which is why I bought more. That's what I wanted to say in a video. I wanted to actually make this a whole dedicated video talking about Matic Network. Because of the rebrand, and I sometimes think that what happens is when a rebrand like this happens, almost instantly the price goes up, but mostly the day itself it goes up like times, about 10-15% or so, and the day afterwards is when you usually see like 40 to 70% or so, depending on what Bitcoin does. So I was about to tell a couple of people that this one might be a big one. However, it has already gone up, I think, about 35% or so today, so I'm a little bit late to the party because I guess I forgot. But yeah, I definitely bought myself some, purely on the speculation too, after I already bought it. You guys see what I'm trying to say? A little bit of a strange one, but yeah. Digital Euro is coming soon. Let's hope it's going to regard XRP/Ripple. We'll see though. Strong Sixpack says, oh my god, it's pumping because of this video? Definitely not. XRP can definitely not pump because of this video. If you really think so, maybe reconsider. Because that's not the way that things move around here. You think a video like this can pump XRP? Man, I like that though. I like your stance. Thank you, I guess, for giving me so much credit. The road is still paved though. Maybe we're going to retest 49 cents in just a second. Star 6 man, don't worry, man. You're not dumb. I get it. Joe says, Dusty, what's your XP price prediction? Man, I don't have one prediction. Xander says, hey, Xander, I see the $2, man. Thank you a lot. He said, I sold all my alts for more XRP. The suppression can't be held down forever. Ooh, that's a scary move, man. I would never sell all my alts to go into one. That's not the way to go. And hi, Joseph. He said, hello, Dusty. Hello, man. XRP up or down in March? Well, as of this point, March has actually been very positive. If we're looking at the start of March, literally the first couple of hours up to now, we're already up about 22 or so percent. But really, I think it's going to stem down to if we get any other info regarding the lawsuit. Logically speaking, it should be very positive, the sentiment, because of this. The video is clickbait? Not at all. Just scroll back to the beginning, all right? Just see everything I talked about in the beginning, because we literally talked about why it's freaking part of the global change. If you want to recap, a small little recap, if you didn't check the beginning of the video, everything is changing right now, right? So the whole Trump administration is changing over into the Biden administration. And a lot of these parties here, we are most likely or mostly interested in them because of their stance towards crypto. Now, on the same note, U.S. lawmakers introduced a bill to clarify crypto regulations. SEC and CFTC are coming together. CFTC has called XRP a currency. SEC is alleging it is a security. It's interesting, though, because now it's going to be a party together. And within that party, they're going to have to decide whether or not it falls under the Commodity Commission or the Securities Commission, basically, right? But since it already has now been deemed by the CFTC as a currency, but by the SEC as a security, it's a little bit of a strange one, a sticky one still, for this current situation, which I think personally is kind of odd. But on the same note, we just saw this whole thread here of all these companies, basically these centers or associations, whatever you want to call them, not helping out XRP, even though their idea is to properly help out regulatory frameworks. Have that in the back of your head, and then look at the line. I don't know, there's a line somewhere. I'm not sure exactly in which of these documents it is, but it is basically to get a level playing field. Let's see exactly. It was somewhere here. To this whole thing has been made to eliminate barriers to Innovation Act of 2021. So any of the things. I don't think it was clickbait. I actually think the story was quite nice because Ripple XRP is literally Ripple, right? Is the ones who said this, that the US right now is having some crazy barriers for innovation, and that is literally the act they're putting up to eliminate those barriers, which Brad Garlinghouse has called out tens of thousands of times. And also the discrepancy between where the SEC and the CFTC has jurisdiction is the big question, which they're also trying to fix. I'm personally thinking a lot of this has to do with Ripple, and the Ripple case is going to set the future for Ripple itself, for crypto as a whole, but also Ethereum specifically, as, well, most likely Ethereum is going to be next. My thoughts, my thoughts. Harmony 1. Not sure about that, man. Harmony 1. Nope, no idea what that is supposed to be or what it is about. We also had this one, I guess the Dubai situation. I don't know if that one was in the title. I don't know if I put that in the title. Ripple partner Lulu Exchange opens 78th branch in UAE. Lulu Exchange opens 78th branch over there. They're expanding like crazy. And also think about it. This might be the place where they're going to be moving to eventually. Honestly, guys, I'm always really excited about this stuff, but maybe you guys don't feel the same way. Maybe you guys don't like these updates. I just like the small things and the connecting the dots and talking about this U.S. law situation, even though I'm not even from the US. I just like to put everything together here because it's so odd to me how Ripple is such a big part and people are not trying to, admit it or understand it just quite yet. But it's all part of the bigger picture, guys. It's all coming together. And by the way, in about 2 hours, the video is going to be releasing about Gary Gensler. So if you're done with the live stream, go check it out. It's definitely going to be worth it. Going to be worth your time. Yeah, I'm seeing what you guys are saying. The government finally agrees to talk to the crypto seriously. Well, Druv, it's not completely true because what is not happening is they're not taking our feedback from it. They're not really putting us up to it. And I think they're just trying to really circumvent everything as much as they can and trying to get as much money as they can, right? Because this is also something that just came up, right? The whole NFT situation. They're already thinking about intellectual property. They're already thinking about how can we regulate this? How can we make money from it? It's not that they really want to help us. It's that they want to keep getting the money. And so the more that they regulate properly, the more money that they will most likely be getting. And yeah, I guess they're going to have to, I guess hurting innovation in the bigger run is not their main goal, you would think, but it's definitely something that's happening. And by the way, make sure you press the like button if you're still watching right now. I think we can get to 300 if you guys put in a little bit of effort. It just helps with the YouTube algorithm, man. So please, if you can help, it helps out. It helps out. It helps out. We are right now at about 245. So let's get to 300 likes. Then I can say I did my job well today in the live stream. I think we got them all done. Oh yeah, one more thing. Even though I just said I only actually use PrimeXBT, for which, by the way, a link is down below, for the trading right now, for the futures trading, Binance, I know, what a funny thing. Binance actually has a new staking program for their BNB on Binance itself. And the rates are pretty ridiculous, yet it was full after like an hour or so. The offerings are on a first come, first basis, and if you weren't there instantly, you definitely didn't get to participate. I personally got myself the 8.5% APY on my BNB for a 30-day lockup, but I wanted, of course, the 7-day lockup for 5 BNB or so at maximum, or the 90-day, but I couldn't get there. And yes, we zouden ook je zou ook Nederlands kunnen praten op zich, maar let's keep it to English, right? Ryan says, hey Dusty, a few bank branches have closed down in Washington, NC. Could this scale down be because of Ripple? Well, I would say no. Because why would a bank close down right now because of Ripple? It's most likely because banks all around the world are just closing down because those offices themselves are less necessary. Watch the water. Dusty, what do you think of Luna? No, I don't know that. I see a couple of really crazy things, but luckily they are blocked. Let's go hide this one. Let me see. I started less than... Oh, Joseph, please, man, don't ever put your amount of holdings there. So please just delete your comment and don't put how many you have, please, all right? Don't try to put how much XRP you have or how many coins you have. It's never smart. It's never a smart thing to do, all right? I don't like that type of stuff. If people share their amount of money they have, always a stupid plan, man. Come on. You've been in the crypto space for a little while. Don't do that type of stuff. Let's see. Anybody know why I cannot buy XRP on Binance US? Yeah, we know, yes. Because Binance US has stopped XRP on there. I mean, oh, yeah. XRP is having a big lawsuit, and some companies like Binance US are not allowing the trading as of this point. Nick says, do you think Atom is at a good entry? Groetjes. Well, I actually have some Atom, which I'm staking on Binance too, and the profit is pretty nice, honestly. So, well... Yeah, if your plan is to stake it, then I would say almost any entry is quite fine. If your plan is to hold it for a very long time, then same. If you want to quickly trade it, then I cannot give you advice. Okay, so you guys are just putting up your XRP amounts here for fun, huh? You guys are mocking me. Just don't do it, guys. Please. Don't do that type of stuff. Don't risk your own money. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Trust me. What if somebody actually goes after you because you put your money here? They're going to try stalk you and find out? It's not worth the risk, man. Unless you're really trolling with some crazy numbers. Joe says, Dusty, is there a time where you think XRP can be released to trade in the USA? Well, I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. I think you're just referring to whether or not XRP can come back to those US exchanges, which in my opinion is all about the lawsuit right now. If the lawsuit gets fixed, well then yeah, we'll get back there. If it doesn't, well then it's going to be pretty hard to buy XRP in the US unless you're using a VPN and buying on different platforms and just sending it to yourself. But that is also maybe my negligence. I'm not quite sure what happens if you own a quote-unquote security, which eventually might be what they're going to call XRP, right? That's a possibility. What happens if you hold it then in the US? What happens if you hold that quote-unquote security? I'm not quite sure what then would happen. And Flare, if you're wondering, because I see a couple of people talk about it now in the last couple of days, Flare I'm excited for, but I'm not too hyped for it. Right? In terms of money, it is free money, so yes, I will not deny it. Yet, is it really a good crypto? Well, debatably. The team took way too much money for their own, so it's pretty stupid in terms of distribution. If XRP is a security, Flare will definitely come towards the same path. But I mean, it's free, so why not take it, right? Why be sad about it? It's free money. I would definitely not buy any, but I would definitely just keep it and hold potentially a little bit to, get more gains as they increase the use case, which is interesting because Ripple also invested money in them, right? Ripple invested. It's not like Ripple and Flare are separate altogether. No, Ripple has put money in there through Spring is what the old name was. I don't know what the name is officially now anymore. Spring changed from name. So yeah, let me see. You guys are all saying a lot of different stuff. The market cap. Flare is tough to purchase. Bitrue is the only way I know to purchase. Flare is not officially out quite yet, so any Flare you've seen right now is not real Flare. It is just an IOU between an exchange and you, which means that, they have just said, well, we'll give you the Flare once we get it, but it can only come out after like a couple more months from now. So please also consider that difference, right? Flare is not officially existing just quite yet. There isn't any Flare in this world. It doesn't exist yet. I mean, unless you're talking about a Flare in the real world, I'm talking about a Flare in terms of the crypto Flare. It doesn't exist quite yet. But yeah. All right, guys, I think we're going to end the stream right there. I talked about my main purpose. I told you guys about everything. Once more, if you're wondering where to trade futures, check out PrimeXBT. Link is down below, all right? Check it out. Link is down below. Link is down below. A Binance link is also down below if you're not from the US. If you're from the US, though, always use a VPN when using the stuff where you cannot trade on. And full renaissance. Just if you research Digibyte, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I hold Digibyte if you are wondering about that, too. This is it for the stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again in another one in a couple of days from now. I'll just try to make it a routine, all right? But they will always be surprised. I will never announce them most likely, because every time I just come in and I'm like quickly, I don't know, I just quickly come in and be like, yeah, I want to stream today. All right, so that was it. Exotic says, hey, Dusty, what are your thoughts on the Ledger Nano S? I also have a link for that one down below. I use it myself. Is it the easiest thing to use in the world? No. Does it give you some stress because of your own bank? Yes. But yeah, it works like a charm. It's pretty safe though. Even though they leaked my freaking info. Fuck. Screw them for that one. But right. Adios, amigos. See you later in another one.